provisions of Section 125 of the Electoral Act. I have a copy of the Act, and if I may quickly just go through this.
Which of them? Is it
every person in attendance at a polling unit and his or her, and every polling secrecy shall ensure secrecy of the person who is actually voting. So secrecy of the vote is guaranteed under the Act, and actually, except even in a legal case, in a case in court, no person shall be compelled to disclose how he or she voted. So basically, Section 125, subsection 1 says that everybody should maintain the secrecy and shall maintain an aid in the maintaining the secrecy of the voting. And subsection 2 and 3 are quite opposite. Section 125, subsection 3 says no person shall interfere with a voter casting his vote, then or by any other means obtain or attempt to obtain in the polling unit information as to the candidates for whom a voter in that place is about to vote for or has voted for. Then subsection 125(3)(b) says that no person in the polling shall communicate at any time to any other person information obtained in the polling unit as to the candidate to whom a voter is about to vote for or has voted for. So no person is allowed to communicate how a person voted. The secrecy of the ballot is an essential part of our democratic system and of our electoral laws. So whether it's you or any other person or official of INEC, the security agency, nobody's entitled to disclose how he or she voted. Secrecy of the ballot is paramount and is very, very important. So now, what is the grouse about taking your phone? And not to the polling points, by the way. What the INEC chairman said, and what INEC has been consistent with, is that you do not take your phone to the voting cubicle, to the polling booth. Now, a booth is an enclosure within the polling unit. The polling unit is a bigger place. It's like a compound, the premises. I came in here and everybody was conscious about my phone coming into the polling, into the studio. But I can bring my phone into the channel's premises, but conscious of use of my phone while I am in the studio. So that's the same analogy I would like to draw on that. We encourage people to come to the polling center or polling unit with their phones. Show us when our materials have not arrived on time, when our personnel have not arrived on time. Let us know. But do not enter the polling booth where you are going to indicate how you voted with your telephone. And I think it's been very, very well received by the people of Osun State, and I hope that will be embraced by the people of Nigeria as we head towards the 2019 elections. And
let me take it away from you. Let me take it away from you and bring it to Dr. Ashiru, who is very eager to have a response to you.
Well, you see, I'm surprised that the Director of Voter Education started the way he did. My contention is not about the secrecy of the ballot or whether you are transmitting your ballot or whatever to whoever. That's not my contention. My contention is that if the phenomenon we are trying to check is vote buying, the mere fact that you are not having your phone in the booth cannot stop it. That's my own argument. That's one. And number two, is it everybody in Osun that can afford a phone that can snap the ballot? I'm saying that we should stop blaming the victim. We should think creatively about solving problems. We are assuming wrongly that everybody who comes to that polling cubicle has a phone that can take a photograph.
But you also agree that for the greater good, sacrifices must be made.
There's no question about that. What I'm concerned about, which I also want INEC to be concerned about, yeah, they are improving by the day. They should also understand that blanket orders are not given, because of some occurrences. Yes, in Osun, they have not taken their phones to the cubicle. But there are reports, glaring reports of vote buying, money exchanging hands, which means that even that stopgap measure has only succeeded to a point. Nobody can say that votes were not bought even in this Osun election. And like Okimba Loye, who was on ground, told us, they are becoming more sophisticated. So I'm saying that rather than, taking piecemeal laws, orders, blanket directives, we could take the phenomenon holistically and think about how to exterminate it from our electoral process. And I think that should be his concern, and not whether it succeeded in Osun or not. I'm sure by the next election,
let me get his thoughts.
Begin to think
my apologies, I'll come to you, but let me go to Abuja again. Mr. Ozi, you believe that, according to Mr. Dele here,
Dr.
he says that you have largely not succeeded in stopping vote buying in Osun, and that you cannot deny the fact that people have been buying votes still, despite the stop measures that you have put in place. As a matter of fact, we have a report from our correspondent Chris Illems, who said that one person was caught with 604,000 naira fund believed to be proceeds to buy votes. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, very well. First of all, let me apologize if Dr. Ashiru thinks it was a personal attack to him. It certainly was not. He raised certain issues which I was responding to specifically. Nobody has said or suggested that it has completely 100% stopped vote buying. Vote buying is a sophisticated thing. It is such that, look, there are different measures and different approaches, short-term, medium-term, long-term approaches which you will take to problem solving. But one person has been arrested. Yes, was handed over to the police or the security agencies. But does that translate to what we saw in Ekiti or in the previous elections prior to now? The fact that one person, there will always be deviants. He knows this as well as I do. There will always be people who will try. Was it as brazen as it was being done? There are different measures. There's a lot of voter education, specific messages targeted at the people. And by the way, there is no victimless crime, contrary to what it seems to suggest. There's not like a victimless crime in this place. Anybody who sells his votes is committing an offense. Anybody who buys a vote is committing an offense in accordance with Section 124 of the Electoral Act. And vote buying is bribery. It's inducement. And that is a criminal offense, both by the giver and the taker, the person selling and the person buying. The polling unit is not a market. It's not a trading point where you do this thing. The fact that only one reported case of only one person says something. In Ekiti and previous elections, they were a lot more brazen about it. They were doing this in the face of everybody in the polling unit. And the essence of the camera is that you do not disclose. And the phenomenon became known as see and buy. So if you don't see, the tendency is that there's all likelihood that you will not buy. You have to be sure of what you are buying. Buyers beware. You be sure of what you're buying, that the person who you are paying money to is voting for you, because they can take your money and go and vote for whoever